Welcome guys to my channel, and thank you for joining. If you are new to my channel, I would really appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification bell. That way you can see when I do upload new videos. So we are right into the first project of the day, and that is this haunted house, Dollar Tree haunted houses that I made as a centerpiece for my tabletop, and you can use it for any to add to your decoration, but I just use this as one of my centerpieces on one of my tables. So as you can see, I got 3 of those wood framed haunted houses that Dollar Tree had for Halloween, and I'm painting them all black. It's more of a silhouette kind of haunted house, but and so I'm just doing that front and back on all 3 of them, and I just really only did one coat on each side because the paint I used, it really I didn't really have to use that much, and it's acrylic black that I got from Walmart, I believe. Yeah, I believe you can use any, even the Dollar Tree one. I've not yet used the Dollar Tree paints, so I'm not sure how well those work. But any acrylic paint will work just fine. And I'm just doing the edges just to cover up that wood color on there. And guys, if you're ready for Halloween, I sure am. I know a lot of people have been jumping on board early with Halloween, but I'm just following along through the month of October with Halloween, so I had to take some of my fall decorations down and switch them out with my Halloween. So the next thing I did was I got these neon colors. It was a neon pink, a neon green, or no, those both were glow in the dark. And I just was doing some dry brush. Really, I wasn't trying to get any kind of coverage on it other than to try to bring out the pink, the colors out onto the black. It didn't work as well, so you see I'm painting with the pink. You could barely see the pink and the green as well, and then I used a neon purple on the last one, and that one did come out a little bit more, but it still wasn't enough, so I ended up going over it again so you can see that the purple is coming through a little bit more than the green and the pink. And then there you can see my base that I'm using. It was one of those Dollar Tree wood planks, and sorry guys, a lot of my video was cut out. I was having such a difficult time recording this day. So from there I decided to go ahead and dry brush some white acrylic paint on the edges and just around the windows and all the cutouts and on the ghost, as well as the other 2 houses. And with that I ended up adding those colors I wanted. So one had pink, one had green, and the main centerpiece of the haunted houses was that purple. And it actually, I like the way it differentiated the 3 houses. And you can see I'm doing the base as well with that dry brush. There's the green. I was trying to see if I could get the glow in the dark to come out. I'm not sure if glow in the dark fades in time because these are kind of old paints that I don't use often, so I'm not sure if they use their power to glow. So I haven't seen them glow. And that purple is just a neon, so it wasn't going to glow on at all. But with a black light, it would work. And so I'm going to let those dry off. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and start centerpiecing those. I did end up getting some Lincoln Logs from Dollar Tree. Painted those black, as you'll see. And I just got those added to the base of the houses. So I could add to the main part, the main base. And I did struggle with this a little bit. It took me a little bit of time to try to get the houses to actually stick. So I suggest guys don't paint with the acrylic on the Lincoln Logs that you're going to glue, or the spots that you're going to glue to the board, because it wasn't sticking right. The first one it did. That main centerpiece, which is great. I needed it to hold perfectly. But those two back ones, I struggled with those, so just keep that in mind whenever you're painting with acrylic and you know you're going to either hot glue it or try to use wood glue, or I probably should have used some super glue of some sort, maybe the E6000 or some kind of crazy glue to hold it in place, because it took me a while to get it to stick. Those two back houses, they were just not cooperating with me. And you can see I'm just adding the Lincoln Logs. I cut down 2 of them just so I could center them into the back part of that house, the haunted houses. And you'll see that I was going to cut that out, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to let y'all see that I struggled with it. It took a while, and then I decided to go ahead and leave it, let it dry for the whole day. So I came back to the project the next day, once it was glued. And I did work with the wood glue as well as hot glue on this. But I could not get it to stick. For some reason that hot glue was not cooperating with me. And even at that, guys, if you have suggestions on what glues to use, especially with acrylic paint and like projects like these, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so the next day after everything has been glued and hopefully stays glued, I did come back to my project, and you can see that I am now just, I didn't do much added anything else other than this LED light that I got from Dollar Tree last year, and it was more of a rope light, and during the Halloween season. So I really loved how purple that light became. And so I'm just working it through the houses and seeing how I want to do it. I didn't like that technique I was using, so I did end up taking it off, restarting it. And then I went ahead and got Mod Podge spray, and I added some black glitter to the houses. And I didn't add too much, but I did add the Mod Podge, and it does hold pretty well with that spray. No fallout. Next thing I got was this Dollar Tree Halloween sign, and it has all these different wordings. And I was going to use a Cricut, but I decided to go ahead and use this. And I ended up cutting out that word haunted houses. So I was just cutting these down at first, and then I went to the one I wanted, the actual one I wanted, which was that haunted houses one. And of course my light went out. But so with that haunted houses one, I ended up just, cleaning the edges off, sanding it so it's not so rough with the cuts. And then I ended up getting some black and just brushing the edges so that it could look a little bit aged whenever I put it on the center of the base. And so what I'm going to do is just completely go around the edges of that. And then I added a little bit of that silver glitter just to blend in with the glitter I added. Then I got this white jack-o'-lantern from Dollar Tree that they had, and I just ended up adding it to the base, and I added another little orange pumpkin as well, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Then I hot glued the haunted houses, and here you can see that I completed with the lights on. And I did add that Halloween sign at the top, and that's from Dollar Tree, and it's a LED light. And here's another shot of that that house. So the next DIY is this haunted tree, or Halloween tree. And what I did, this was from Hobby Lobby that I had gotten from a couple of years ago, and I think I got it on sale after the Christmas season. And so I had been holding it, and I decided to use it because I didn't have a tree for Halloween. And here you can see that I'm using that black mesh from Dollar Tree that they had out, and I'm wrapping the tree with the mesh. It's gonna be a rough cover, but I'm gonna put a lot of coverage on top of it, so it didn't really need to be covered completely. But I'm just gluing down the edges so that it forms to the tree. And I'm just using the hot glue as I go up, and I get to the top, and then I shape the top part, the point. So you can see I'm adding the mesh rope, the black, and this is just more to secure it. It's not a decoration. It's just getting that base down there covered, and then just wrapping it and using hot glue every couple wraps just to secure it even more. And this just helped to shape the tree even more, especially with that mesh. It wasn't formed for it, so it just helps to shape it up. And you can see it's not that much coverage. And then from there I did end up getting these Halloween tree balls, and I ended up gluing it at first, and then I decided to use that mesh rope and actually make a garland of those orange and black. And with that, I just went and added orange, every other color to it until I got it to where I needed. Well, completed it actually. And then whenever I was complete with that, I ended up spacing them out ever so often so I could wrap it around the tree, and that way it was able to cover it. Because it actually, I probably could have added more balls to that, but I only had those two, so I ended up spacing them out, and it actually did work out good. I just glue the edges so that they stay secured. And then the next thing I did add was this orange tulle that has that white specks in it around the tree. And then I also, and it's not on the video, but I did add the pumpkins, the purple pumpkins too. I glued them around the tree, just spacing them out just to add that purple. And then I ended up making one of the tulle bows with the orange and purple and then black rope mesh. So I'm just cutting those down about every couple inches because I'm going across the other direction to make my it's a messy bow, so like you could see I'm just cutting those up. Cut the purple, and then I actually made 2 bows with each of them, 5 of them, and here is the outcome of that. So this is a Halloween, a jack-o'-lantern I painted last year, and I'm going to go ahead and use the back end of it and make this into a darker pumpkin. And here you can see I'm using the black. Everything is with black for me this season for Halloween, so. And as you can see, I've got the Dollar Tree little round sponge, and I'm just using the large one with the white. I did go with, on top of that, I used the medium one with orange, I believe. I'm just cleaning up, or the orange was the medium, and I centered that in. And then I added the purple, and then with the after that was done, I did like a dry brush and just messed it up. It wasn't completely dry, and just, you know. And so then after that, I ended up using the small one again on top with black after I smeared those, just not to make it so look perfect. As you can see, it's smeared there, and you can see I'm adding the black, and this is gonna go just with as part of my centerpiece. And there you can see my completed version. So the next thing I did was I got the foam Dollar Tree pumpkins, and I, of course, going with the black, I am actually making a floral pot with it. And you can see I'm just painting it all black. I wanted to do something different with these pumpkins, so I hadn't seen where people made these with just a floral pot, so I decided it would be good. You can use it for Thanksgiving as well, make those as centerpieces as well. I'm thinking about doing that too. So you can see I got this candle that I had used up, and it was from Dollar Tree, so I didn't need it anymore, and I just carved around the pumpkin to the shape of that candle holder. And of course I ended up adding some of this orange mesh just to, of course, give it a little bit of dimension and, you know, color to the pumpkin, since it was no longer orange. And then I added the candle in there, the candle holder, and then I cut down a foam piece from Dollar Tree. And these flowers I ended up getting, it was actually some branches that I had gotten from the Goodwill, and it was some orange and black ones, so I decided to cut just 3 little orange stems and add those as part of my floral package. And I did spray paint those, as you can see, those Dollar Tree stems that they've had. I went ahead and spray painted them black. I didn't care to cover them completely black, but and then I just added them to my pot, to the pumpkin pot. And I'm just, you know, and then I got those witches brooms. I got the orange and the black, and I added those, included those into the pot as well. And then I had just a little orange pumpkin stem from Dollar Tree, and then you can see that I added the Halloween decorative balls. I added just 3 of them, put them on a stem with hot glue. I worked with those, and I actually cut them down. Some of them were hanging a little bit over more than they were, and I actually liked the way that this floral pot turned out. And I thought about making it shorter, smaller, so it could be down to size of the pumpkin, but I think it just adds a little bit more of that eeriness to it for Halloween. It's just more of me playing around with it, getting it to the exact how I want it to look. And here I'm adding just a little bit of these white Dollar Tree piece floral stems, and here is the outcome of that. I actually like the way this looked. You can see it against my pumpkin that I painted. And here is the final pieces, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, as well as don't forget to follow and like. Goodbye, guys.